All right, there we go.
What's the safe word?
There's really no really new people. I just wanted to go over like the optimizer again, but I guess this is more like if we're gonna post it on YouTube, at least people that aren't here or can't see it live, it's gonna be like for them to see like how we use the optimizer. So, and I
You
know
can ping.
didn't go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say we can ping people to get their attention if you want more in here, but
Yeah, okay, we can try that.
um,
What did I do? You said something about DINs?
No, I was
it's
gonna
a
say
key.
you're able to work it on Mac, right? So maybe kind of like your point of view, if you want to go over how to do it for Mac, because I know a lot of people said it's like you literally have to close out everything, use Brave or Chrome or something, and then like you have to just use one strategy at a time. Where PC, it's like it doesn't matter. So,
I'm on PC. I mean, I do have a Mac somewhere around here. I don't know where I have it.
you know what? I think it was maybe WPS fan hit on Mac. John Wick actually came here. And we're trying to get him. We helped him get it working. So I guess anyway, this is how you use the Trading View Assistant. I can show how to do my way, Vince, if you want to show, kind of show people how to do it, your way too. Because there's not one right way. I mean, it's, like even Dank uses a completely different way too. So,
Hmm. We should have had some examples set up for this.
well, I mean, we can do one that we don't have. How about near? I don't know the volume for it on Bybit though. Maybe I should double check that.
Actually, I've been hearing a lot about Near recently. A lot of devs are going over there.
Are they really?
Yeah. Not more than the Ethereum. Well, Ethereum is just, it supersedes them all. But I think it's right up there. It might be over Solana as well.
Um, as far as like market cap or a volume, yeah, but on Bybit, it's only about 19 million on
Oh, I'm just talking
Bybit.
about devs.
Oh, sorry, devs. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
devs making projects over there.
Wait, what? Luna 2 is still? I thought they took out like all the Lunas. Luna 1, Luna 2, Luna 3, all of them. I'm so confused.
Even got Luna Classic too. No, they're people are trading them.
All right, I guess let's do Luna 2. See what we come up with. That's interesting.
Although, yeah, I don't think Luna Classic's on Bybit.
I saw someone post a setting for it, and I'm like, I don't know. But I
Yeah,
mean, this is more or less kind of for people to see how we use the optimizer. So.
Are you gonna share your screen or do
Oh
are you
yeah,
watching
sorry.
some?
I was recording, but here we go. So now it's recording and streaming on the right side. Okay, cool, cool.
is it gonna
Excellent.
echo?
I don't know. We will find out.
I think it should.
Is there a setting in OBS to like record sound, or is it by default recording?
Yeah, it should be default recording unless you turn it off, I believe.
Okay.
Um, it's,
Oh, I see it here. It
yeah,
says audio mixer over
yeah.
here, and like I see the bars going up with the mic. Okay, no, I think we're good. Okay.
And then I would make sure in your recording on the settings, if you go to settings output recording, I would change recording quality to indistinguishable quality, large file size. because it can
Indistinguishable.
pixelate quite a bit if you don't have that on.
Fancy.
Settings. Settings general output.
Yeah, so down 2 below general should be output, and then that gives you streaming and recording, and then for the recording quality, you want to do indistinguishable quality.
I got a warning at the bottom. Recordings cannot be paused if the recording quality is set to same as stream, and it's like I can't
Oh,
click
because
anything.
you're probably already recording, so that's probably why you can't edit it.
Recording quality same as stream.
Okay, so it's probably fine then.
All right.
Screen's looking good too.
But anyway, for those for those that actually want to use TradingView Assistant, this is my way of doing it. Like like I said, there's really no right or wrong way. So if you want to do, let's say, if you want to do like the AAA or DSC or VTA, you just load up the strategies, which one you want to use. And you can only have one active strategy at a time. I found out, instead of like, complicate things. So like if you want to optimize it for like AAA or DC or VTA, just pick one. So for example, if I want to optimize it for like AAA, you just get rid of everything else and only have the AAA strategy up. Now you have to have the strategy, you can't have the indicator. Once you have like your time frame picked out, your strategy, and then your coin pair, you're basically good to go to do the Trading View Assistant. I did provide links in the content list for like the Google Sheets. If you guys need it, maybe I think there's a separate link, but if not, maybe I'll post it again there, like a separate link for Trading View Assistant, because the other one is still not working for now. It's Strategy Helper. So basically, what you do is once it's installed, you just click on it once, and by default, you should kind of see like a screen like this. I think by default it's like random. I think like net profit all. So for me, the way I like to do it, I like to see the percent net profit all. I don't know, it doesn't really make a difference for all or net profit all or a percent. I just like seeing percentage. For me, I like doing random improvement rather than random. And if you want to look up the difference between like random improvement, annealing, brute force, sequential, it's all on here. Quick overview, like sequential, basically it goes in order. It goes like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, from the low end, from like their starting point to the high end point, and it'll like say, it'll increase by the step that you set it to, and we'll go over that for a minute. Brute force, I've never used. I don't know what it really does. Annealing is like, it tries to find a midpoint without going like too far off like the center, basically the point of no return where you start getting like negative returns, and annealing keeps like hammering in the midpoint, like the good point of, this is a good range. I'm going to keep, hammering it in until I get like the best possible range in this middle. There's YouTube videos up to look up what annealing actually does. Random improvement, simplest method, it basically changes one setting at a time, and it says if this is an increase, it saves it and it goes on to other settings and it keeps randomizing those. And if there's an increase, save it and go on to another setting and keep randomizing it over and over. The last one, random method, is basically it takes everything that you checkbox, and I'll show you guys in a second. But random method means like if you have 20 inputs to change, it'll take all 20 inputs and randomize every single one of them at once. I guess this could work out, but you would have to cycle this like, I'm talking about like tens of thousands of times to actually make an impact, which I don't know anyone that'll want to do that. I think it's more or less like a waste of time. The best result that I get personally is to do random improvements. And once you get random improvements, like you can't squeeze any more juice out of, net profit or whatever you want to increase it by, then you do sequential improvements afterwards. And then after that, then I start messing with like account balance, leverage, stop loss, and take profit. So this is, like I said, net profit, percent all. I like doing random improvement to start with. Filter, for Trading View Assistant, you only get one filter, unfortunately. So here is kind of like what you want to filter by. You want to do more or less. If you want to do less than 20% max drawdown, or you want to do, let's see here, average more than, like, say 100 trades, or if you want to do like ratio of average wins to losses, let's say more than, like, I don't know, 1 or 2. Dince, I think, has tried this a couple times, so he may can kind of speak to how this one works, but I haven't tried this one yet.
Personally, for ratio, I put that in the max value, so I get the best average win over loss. And I do that as a second step. So, for example, if the first net profit is, for example, 80% or 100%, I put that down in the filter saying, show me the best average win loss ratio, but keeping a net profit of more than 50%. Also, one caveat, if this is the very first time that you're running this, you're going to have to hit the get template button to acquire the parameters of the current strategy that you've loaded.
It always skips it for me, like it doesn't do a template. When I do test strategy, it always like pulls it up automatically.
I've seen that when you're hopping around from different strategies. So if you're using a VTA and then you might hop over to a AAA, it states that the parameters are not they're not available because it's still looking at the old one. Like it holds it in the cache. If you do have that issue, just I think you go to tools and you clear cache, get template, and then you'll be fine.
Here, let's do it by 10. Because I think I was doing a AAA afterwards. So let's do like 5 and let's switch over to like VTA. Like it'll find all the parameters for me.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, I'll show you.
The suspense.
All right, so it did find something for Luna. And after you're done, it does pull up like a CSV file of like all the random or whatever changes you want to do, like sequential, whatever. It gives you a list of what actually changed and what to improve it by. So this is a big file of stuff that changed. But here, so let's try it. Let's flip it over to VTA. And I guess I should have started this out. It's like, uh, put like your what you want to think for starting balances and leverage first, and then the same with the take profits, and then stop loss, and then kind of work your way at the end for take profit and stop loss.
Please use proper risk management.
Yeah, like I think for the most part, yeah, like I wouldn't do more than 5. So even if we want to start like 5% balance with 25% leverage, like this is even on the high side, but just to show kind of how it works.
Yeah, don't go 100% with 100x leverage. Please don't do that.
All right, so if I load it up here, let's just start with like the net profit and the max drawdown first. Now this is totally up to what you guys are saying. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. I like just starting with, less than 20% max drawdown, random improvement, net profit. Basically, squeeze as much net profit possible while keeping the max drawdown less than 20%, and try random improvement. Yeah, see, for dense for me, like it says this, I click OK and then it pulls everything in. I don't have to do it.
Do you usually use random improvement?
When I start with, yeah, I like doing random improvement first, like kind of like, I guess like round one, and then after I do sequential. Then I start messing with the take profits and stop losses.
Lately, I've been keeping my take profits and stop loss hard coded in. Just for example, if I'm doing a scalp, I'll have a set um, group of numbers that I like, and if it's for swing, it's a different group. But as far as that random and sequential, I do the same method. Thanks to you, Des.
Yep, yep. So in here, if you got your stop loss set and your take profits, really what you would want to do is unclick them at the bottom, and this is basically going to prevent the optimizer from basically, randomizing or changing these. So like, don't, if you just basically want to just change the most effective or the meat and potatoes of the strategies, it's going to be at the top, which is going to be like for VTA, it's going to be like the volume, Bollinger Bands channel, EMA links, ATR, trend lines, money flow index, etc. So just basically like uncheck the bottom. Days of the week too. If you do want to change it here, like, oh crap, I forgot to change it, you can always change it in here. Like for example, I have trading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These are all set to true, and then no Saturday, no Sundays. So like, if you're happy with those, and you can always change those after. Trading time zone, 24/7 trading, doesn't matter. I'm going to do with MFI confirmation. I'm going to do with trendline. So there's no point. Like basically just uncheck the enable. Like true. That's basically a true or false. Like don't mess with those. I typically don't like doing time frames for money flow index, but we can just leave it in here just for the sake of showing how everything works. And then just uncheck the strategy version at the top because it's not going to change anything.
Can you go over the steps for the people that are not familiar with that?
Yeah, so the from box, the first column is basically like the low end, like your starting point of, hey, this is the lowest that you can try to randomize or start as a sequential improvement or a sequence. So let's say for volume, you want to do like, I don't know, 5. Volatility setting. Volatility setting and the ATR multiplier, these are standard deviation, and Bollinger Band multiplier, these are all standard deviation multipliers. So like the smallest setting can make a big difference. So for this, maybe if you want to start it like at a 0.1, go up to maybe like 20. This is the high end, this is the low end, and the step is like the increment you want to change it by. So here, let's start from the top. Volume, let's do 5 to 300. Step, do 1. Volatility setting, this is a standard deviation multiplier, so let's do like 0.1 to 20. Let's do a 0.1 increase. Bollinger Band channel length, let's do like 5 to, I don't know, 100. Let's do 1. Standard deviation multipliers, let's do like 0.1 to 20. 0.1 increase. EMA lengths, I don't know, 5 to 100. Do 1, 5 to 100. 1 ATR period. Sure, 5 to 200, do by 1. Multiplier, this is a standard deviation, so like do 0.1, do 20. 0.1. This is the trendline type, so I'm just going to let it go, cycle through all of them. Trendline length, let's do 5 to 300, maybe by like 1. Time frame, I guess, sure, let's try it. And then money flow index, let's do 5 to 100 and 1. Anyone have got any questions about this part? So again, from is basically like the low end of the range. 2 is the high end of the range of what you want it to. And these numbers, again, there's no right or wrong. I mean, you can do like volume setting go up to 500, or volatility go up to 10, or the Bollinger Band channel length go up to like 150. I mean, there is no right or wrong. This is purely subjective. What do you want it to do? And increments, again, purely subjective. What do you want to do? Like, my only suggestion, if you are gonna do like a step, like do it the smallest increment number, and like a 1 step for anything outside of standard deviation, and like a 0.1 for a standard deviation setting.
For this particular strategy, you stated that you like MFI confirmation enabled or disabled.
I'm gonna try it with it enabled. I kind of like to do like
You have it
do
as false.
oh, there you go. True. So I like to do everything, like enable everything and see, as much confirmation as possible. If I'm getting like, 80 trades or 50 trades with like 80% net profit, I'm like, let me try to like, maybe enable the MFI and just leave like, the top portion and just a trend line and just try to do it like that. Or if that doesn't work, for like AAA, I think you have like 5 different settings. You have your Andean oscillator, ADX, your ATR, range filter, and trend line, and MFI. For DSC, you just have your stochastic MACD, trend line, money flow index, and then your DFMI, your divergence from indicators. So I mean, again, there's no right or wrong answer. You guys literally have to play with this and just keep trying, keep trying to see what something that works. So, and just a caveat, not all coins like certain strategies. Like I can run this to death. I can run this for a week for Luna 2 for VTA, and I could have like flipped this to like a DSC or a AAA, and I would have instantly got better results. And that's another thing too. You don't know what works. You literally have to try every single strategy for every coin and see what's the best bang for the buck. There is no right or wrong answer. But this is just a starting point. Once you're good here, cycles at the top, this is basically how many times do you want to run it. Like if you have random improvements, how many random improvements you want to try to run it. Sequential, how many times in order do you want to try to run it. Sequential will give you a number. Like if you select a bunch of these and give it the low end, top end, the increments, it'll actually say, hey, sequential wise, if you're going to do all of these using these parameters, it's going to take like 1,582 times for it to run through every single sequence. Random improvements, this is like some astronomical numbers. So don't put this big, don't basically what I'm trying to say is don't set this for 1 million, because you will crash your computer or you'll get a slap on the wrist from TradingView, and they'll be like, dude, you ran it too many times. We caught you doing something you shouldn't be. And that's, I guess maybe I should have warned you guys too. If you do this enough, like if you're trying to optimize like 10 different strategies on 10 different windows, doing like, random, sequential, whatever, you will probably get a nasty little slap on the wrist from TradingView, being like, well, we detected suspicious activities. We're gonna temporarily ban your account. So don't do that. I've been playing it safe, and I've just been doing one at a time, like one strategy time with a couple thousand. That's just me. If your computer can handle it, do a couple thousand. If it can't, do 1,000. If it can't, do a couple hundred, and just keep on chugging it through.
Lately, I've been doing blocks out of 100. Um, and when I feel like I need to pull a little bit more, I'll jump over to 500. And probably for the final one, I'll do one session of 1,000.
Okay.
5,000.
All right.
5,000.
I'll show you guys what happens too. Like if you decide to stop for the night or need to restart or something goes wrong, like just let it start and do its thing. We'll let it run for a little bit and see if there's actually an increase, and I'll click stop and I'll show you what happens.
We got a 14% already.
Maybe I should add this to my list if I got a 15. Wow, 15 already. All right, we're trading Luna too.
What do you think Doquan is?
I don't know, dude.
Where in the world is Doquan?
All right, so I'll let this go to 15, and I'll show you guys what happens if you like I said, need to restart or stop this for the night or just basically just tell it like, hey, give me a second to change some stuff. So let's say you click stop on here, and you have a 15.70, and it tells you all done 15.70, right? Click OK. It'll save the settings in here, like whatever settings you have on here. This is the max, like net profit 15.7. So what I suggest is just download the CSV file right here for the night, and like name it, Luna 2, 15 minutes, VTA strategy, however you want to categorize it, just so you have some kind of record. And then once you pick up in the morning, so let's say you just reset all this, and let's say you pick up in the morning or pick it up later, just basically import that file. And it'll start at 15.7 again. So you don't lose your place basically. Then you can do it again. Net profit, max drawdown, 20%, random improvement, test strategies. And then do my crazy 5,000 cycles. And then Dents, you said after this, we both agree kind of sequential is kind of like the next best thing to do.
Yeah. I highly recommend doing sequential after that random improvement.
Okay. Wow, 20, dude. Why don't we have Luna 2? Why doesn't anyone have Luna 2 setting yet? It's
I
only
didn't know its existence until today.
yeah, seriously, I didn't even know either.
This is on Bybit?
Yeah, I know Binance was like the first one to pull anything Luna. Like when a crash happened, they're like they want nothing to do with it. But here, let's.
Those sorts of symbols can be the best places to go trade with certain strategies, especially TA strategies. There's many different types of strategies, like price action and just people who hunt, and some of those people won't trade symbols that have such a reputation, right?
Uh-huh.
So being in a smaller pool gives you sort of a better breathing room, and some of this stuff works a little bit better.
Luna's pretty manipulated though, in terms of it doesn't follow Bitcoin really that well.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
But it's how is it manipulated? Is it manipulated via TA? Is it manipulated by, just whale dumps and that sort of thing?
Yeah,
And how?
it would be whale
Sure.
dumps. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But those whale dumps though, in certain aspects, can go off of certain TA signals as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so it's just a matter of how that's working.
Oh, you could actually use this as an example to use the filter feature.
So then, what do you? So let's say we did the random improvements, we did sequential improvements, and you basically squeeze. And now, Dents, what do? You do over here. You do
So for
the
example,
ratio.
right now you have a 26% net profit.
Yeah, like
But
26 something.
put that in the filter for your net for down there, yeah, for net profit all. And let's put a new max. For example, average win rate, or maybe Sharp ratio, or perhaps profit factor. Yeah, so right now it's going to look for the best Sharp ratio while still holding that 26% net profit. And it's all a balancing act of going back and forth.
And I did sequential, like you can see in a second here. Like, even though I put 5,000, I think this is going to be a lot less than 5,000. So if you click save and run, it'll show you. Okay, perfect. So it says to go through every single, checkbox from the low end to high end, it'll take 1,851. So once you hit 1,851 cycles, it'll stop. It won't go through the 5,000. This is just for sequential. And Dents, you're looking for like a what, like a 1.5, 1.6 Sharpe ratio at least?
Yeah, above 1.6, I feel comfortable. Same thing with the Sharpe. I'm sorry, profit factor. I was seeing that discussion earlier about max drawdown. Some people were stating 30%, some people were saying 25. You know, me, I personally like 20% because it would require, um, I believe 25, yep, a 25% recovery to get back to where you were. Um, so I was looking around at prop firms, and I saw that a lot of them were stating 10% for their prop firm members. So I think it literally just depends on what you're comfortable with losing.
Yeah.
I might start looking at 10% and under. I mean, all of my strategies are less than 5 anyway.
And I
And are
think
you going off of the results box in the top right, or do
Correct.
you take into account the deep back testing
I
numbers?
I do both.
Okay, so you're kind of taking like the average of both, or you kind of trying to get them both to line up as much as possible? Because I've seen a lot of ones there with max drawdown of like 10%, and then you go to the deep back testing and it's like 30, 40%. So it's sometimes a big difference. But I
Yeah,
just wondered what y'all thought about that.
definitely have to keep in mind how deep the back testing goes. It might be at a time where, crypto was not doing so hot. Um,
Right, right.
yeah, so it honestly just depends.
Gotcha.
But personally, I tend to do everything the way that Dezo's currently doing it, and then I save the deep back testing when I'm getting towards the end.
Okay. That makes sense.
And Dank, you had posted a couple like tips and tricks, I think, right? Like how to like further do it after you're done with this.
Um, as far as what now?
I think you had posted kind of like a short little like after this you're looking for like the win rate, as far as like
Oh, yeah. Well, it was quite similar to the way you were doing it. I mean, I was taking the bulk of the indicators and doing the indicators first, and or sometimes if it depends on the strategy, right? So if I want something really safe, I'll go ahead and set the stop loss and the take profits a little tighter. And then I'll start with indicators after that and use that stop loss and the stop loss and take profits, set in stone. And then try to find the best results for that, for that risk basically. Or otherwise, I'll kind of just start with the indicators themselves, max out the returns, and then kind of go down the line, and then kind of go to like the time and date, and then do the stop loss and take profits to kind of tweak it into where you want, depending on, hey, are you going after a high win rate and low max drawdown? Like I know some people might want to see like 100% win rate. And of course, it's not going to take that many trades. But in the same token, if you have 20 strats like that going all at the same time, that might be pretty good. Or otherwise, you might want to have some of these crazy strats that we've been seeing with the returns that are 600, 800, 10,000. But you also have to question yourself, are you psychologically going to sit through those losses? Are you going to sit through it and not turn the bot off? So again, I
Absolutely
kind of,
not.
yeah, right. Yeah, I know a lot of people won't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It's better to kind of feel nice and safe. And especially if you're doing it across many different coins, that would be brutal. Um, so yeah, I think sometimes, and I think my strategy is evolving as I'm going through this and learning more and doing it more. Um, I'm really starting to think that some of the more higher win rate, lower max drawdowns are going to be where it's at. Not chasing those crazy returns all the time, unless it just ends up working out with a crazy return, great win rate as well. Or a combination of bots in your arsenal to work for you. So, yeah, I think it just kind of depends on what kind of strategy you're going after and what you're trying to create, the goal. And of course, like I was saying, what's your risk tolerance?
Right,
I agree
right.
with you.
And Dink, I think you said you were part of other groups too, right? As far as like, their risk tolerance for max drawdowns, and or maybe someone else said it's like
Right.
they're actually looking for like 30%. To me 30% max drawdown is like crazy high. Like I'm just like, nope. I would just
Exactly.
in my mind I'd be like, nope, don't even want it. Even 20 for me 20%
Yeah.
is high. Like I'm looking for 20%. I'm looking for like for me personally, I'm looking for stuff less than 10.
Same.
I agree. I like less than 10. Sometimes I'll do less than 15. I think my max, like y'all are seeing, are pretty much 20. I am in other groups where a lot of their strategies and back testing, I mean, yeah, they're in the 30s and 40s, but sometimes that is, I will say, sometimes that is the deep back testing, as some of them do not have that results box in the upper right corner. But yeah, I
Your
personally would
risk
love to
also
see
affects
a
that.
True, it does. So how much account size and your leverage is going to affect that, and of course, the stop loss is going to be heavy in there as well.
2% max. That's what I've been doing for everything.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a safer bet long run. As you can, and another thing you also have to think about these numbers is how long are these results, going to last for. If you have a win rate of 90% on a strategy that you've back tested, and then you forward test it for 2 weeks, now it's 75%,
Exactly. The bull run may just start, and your strats may not work anymore.
Right. Then back to square one, I guess, but I guess that's how it goes.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking too. It's like how often, like say you get, really, really good results, like, you guys have posted the other day or 2 days ago or yesterday, that crazy, like, the, was it, 1500 or no, 5,000 something percent return for, it's
Yeah.
like,
I want,
is that really real? Is that really gonna last? Like, I can only
it makes
imagine
you
if
wonder,
like a
right?
market maker gets a hold of that, be like, yeah, screw you guys. I'm gonna use this and like basically stop loss hunt everybody because everyone's using this.
Look at me. I am
Absolutely.
the market maker now.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think there's a few people, Sterner and Smart John, were posting. I think it was what was it? I think it was the Phil,
It
FIL.
was Phil, yeah. It
Yeah.
was FIL.
Phil,
Yeah.
right, right. Yeah, that was just nuts. Yeah, it makes you wonder. Is it just coincidence? Is it just like by chance that all these um, parameters just
But
ended up with this foul number, but it's not
the
going to last. It's not going to forward test that way.
the issue was that that's not it wasn't really I mean that one had account balance at 10% at
Yeah,
25 leverage. Here actually it was 1 times 25 10. I mean, you're
Stop loss?
risking 10% per trade. So every time you lose 10% of your account. So that wasn't I
I
mean,
do
yes,
not recommend that.
the numbers looked really good, but when you bring your risks down to like 2%, you're looking at a lot less profit than 5,000.
right. Of
You
course.
can make you can make multiple strategies look, like insane. Like I mean, no, it was the strategy itself still was really good. I think it came out to like
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
think I
it
posted it.
wasn't viable in the long run.
Yeah, so
yeah.
like it's still the profit factor was still good even after with like a 2% risk stop loss. It was still like an 83% win rate, with a profit factor of 4. So it was still looking good.
Speaking of
But
risk, Dezo, you
The
know this.
3.8%
I
loss.
personally tend to set up all of my scalps Monday through Friday, New York session only. And my swings, I've been doing Monday through Friday, but 24 hours.
Oh, I didn't know about the swings. I thought you did everything within the New York session time.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's how I'd set them up. And then once I flipped it to New York session only, it dropped down. So it was only taking like 15, 20 trades, which was unacceptable. But
Yeah.
1 hour or 4 hour doing 24 hours Monday through Friday, it was pretty good. It was like a trade every other day.
That's not bad. I
Yeah,
mean,
so if you have a swing and then you also have your little scalps going, they stack up.
yeah, and kind of going back to Dink's point, it's like, I have a, in Trade Lab, that's something I want to do maybe tonight or this week. Like the strats that I have uploaded in Trade Lab, I think I have like 15 or so. They're all across multiple coins or all across multiple strategies. It's like, and if you use lower risk, like I think I set them up for like 1 or 2% each, like they compound itself. Like I took a look at it, like the max drawdown was like 2%, 3%. And if you get enough of these small, like max drawdowns, 2, 3% with, some decent net profits and APPTs, your account's going to grow. Like if you're going to take a hit, you're not going to feel it as much as like trading with 10%. Like if you get a 10% loss, you're going to be like, what just happened? But if you're losing like a 1% account balance and you're making them up with smaller trades, it's going to be like, whatever, I'll just offer 1%, but I gained like 3-4% as a combination across other trades. So it adds up.
It's a marathon,
Yeah,
not a.
Absolutely.
usually I keep my leverage at 25, and then if I increase stop loss, I just move my account balance percent down.
I mean, look, if you lose 10%, you're gonna need 11.1% to gain back to even.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and just looking at a 10% loss sucks. It's like psychologically,
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, if especially if you're gonna do like the strategies that we want to try to do, or I want to try to do. I guess whatever you want to try to do, kind of what we're doing right now is just like, let's get as many coin pairs as possible across different strategies, combine them, and basically trade them all at once with low account balance and decent amount of leverage. Because like
Yeah.
like I said, if you take a small hit, 1-2%, it's not going to stop you. You're going to be like, 1-2% is fine. Or even if you get like 2 in a row or 3 in a row, that's fine. But overall, you're going to make money. It's just a matter of what then said. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not going to be a millionaire tomorrow. It's going to take time.
Imagine you got 3 losses in a row at 10% risk. You just lost 30% of your account. You're gonna need 42.9% just to break even. That's insane.
That's sickening.
Yeah.
Well, that's why
But yeah,
I've
I
been.
agree.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry about that. I agree. I think it's more about the sum of all parts here and just kind of creating an arsenal of bots. And I think that's kind of going to be my next focus is starting to find strategies that have a real tight risk to reward ratio.
Yep. And I'm gonna make me either on a Google Docs or maybe make a separate channel of what I have already uploaded in Trade Lab, and just so everybody kind of sees like what I have uploaded. And I guess if whoever, if you guys are watching this on a YouTube, or if you guys are here live, basically, help fill in the gaps. If you guys think that we have a coin missing that is pretty good, let's add it to the list. Let's get, my 15 or whatever we have 15 that we want to use to 20 or 25 or 30 or whatever. So just keep that library growing. And on positive side of doing it like this too, we also keep the market makers guessing too. It's like, there's no way market maker is going to be like, well, crap, there's 30 coins. These guys are trading 30 coins. Which am I going to pick to screw them over? It's like, it's going to be impossible for them. They're going to sit there and try to screw us all over. So that the stop loss hunt is going to be kind of like a moot point the way that we're going to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I think spreading the volume across many different coins is going to be the best bet for that.
Just making dinner that whole time, but I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. This is really all I had. If you guys have anything else to, or Dent, if you got any other tricks, or Dank, if you got any other tricks on this Trading View Assistant.
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't use it all that much. I've used it maybe on 2 or 3 of the strategies that I've posted on. I actually prefer to do it by hand. But I'm trying to get into the routine of using it more. I think I've got the hang of it a little bit more now. At first, I was just using the annealing method. I'm not really sure why I chose that, but as soon as I started using the way you do it, with the random and then sequential, you do end up with some better results faster. And then I kind of go in by hand and do the rest.
Yep. So then, basically, for you guys watching it, like this is, so let's say you're happy with a very nice
Wow.
47.27 profit factor.
Look at
Like,
that drawdown. This is nice.
dude, you're like, you take 0.5% hit, you'd be like, I don't care, just keep on going, you know. Wow, and this is actually using 10% of comp balance. What is it like at the 10? Okay.
What's your stop loss?
Let's see.
That's not bad.
2.
Okay,
Oh,
2%. You can go 25 and 10, and that's risking 5%, I believe.
5% loss, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do 5, but that's nice to know.
Yeah. And you guys, start clicking buttons on here, see if it increases. Oh, there you go. You click this, you get 100%. You broke the profit factor.
I have been playing around with John's method of manually tinkering with it. But he was stating on DSC. I'm not sure about the VTA because these are different different settings. I don't think I've done a VTA manually.
Hey, Daz, I do actually have a question. Is there any way we can maybe have a discussion, maybe alive at some point, going over the indicators using these strategies a little bit further? One thing that I was kind of trying to dig in deeper was trying to manipulate the settings to get a better entry.
Manipulate the
And
settings to get a better. I'm sorry, what? You kind of cut out the end.
to get a better entry. Can you hear me?
I mean, yeah, I'm just thinking like if you're looking to
Oh, okay.
short the top or long the bottom. I mean, if you're looking to get like that precise,
It doesn't have to be too precise, but I was just kind of wondering which parameter is going to manipulate that the most. I was messing around with it today, and I believe the volume settings, volatility, and the basically the first 3 on there are the main ones that kind of manipulate that, and ATR can kind of come behind and kind of filter out more or less trades.
What about looking at a smaller time frame to try and get it in earlier? And then having
That's a good idea. I have not tried that actually.
yeah, or like let's say even if you want to do like a money flow index, because the money flow index I'm using here is very similar to market cipher B. Let's say you want to do like a 3-minute, and the trend line you want to do like an EMA, 150 for like, was it 15-minute? Maybe like a 6-minute. Could try doing it like that.
Okay.
I mean, really, what you're, I think I kind of get what you're saying. Like, if you literally want to get like, like basically,
Like say when you have the
like
little
right here.
long arrow. Yeah, like you're trying to get one of those long or short arrows to move in the direction you want it to move. Because it's like basically sometimes getting in like at the very middle of the move. And I was like, man, what can I do to adjust this to get this arrow, this long or short arrow, to move a little bit closer to the edge here, or just to the pivot.
To do that, you're gonna have to like really like all these settings here. You're gonna have to put them on a very very low end. But once you do that, I mean, you're gonna be like essentially it's gonna be like scalping. I mean, you're gonna have a ton of trades on here,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
it's you're gonna have a lot of trades. Not all of them are gonna be profitable either.
Right.
So it's kind of
I'll
like
try that.
kind of pick your risk reward. If you want like lower settings, you'll get a lot more trades. I'm not sure how much profitable it'll be doing it that way. Rather than higher settings, you'll probably get less trades, but it'll probably be profitable because it's kind of like confirming. You know what I mean? It's kind of like confirming the trend,
Right.
confirming the momentum. So
Well, I'll give it a try and see if I can make something just like a real super scalper type of method out of it. But yeah, no, it's worth a shot. I'll actually try the lower time for them as well. See what I can work with there.
yeah, and that's kind of why I coded them in here for you guys too. It's like, you know, especially for the money flow index. Money flow index is such a powerful thing, especially on the
Yeah,
like on the lower
definitely.
time frames. 3, 6, 12 minute. Like, it's such a powerful thing.
Yeah, I've actually used that in quite a few of mine. I usually find a really good results in actually, I think I use like a 3 minute money flow index period and the 12-minute time frame on quite a few of them.
All right, anything else?
Hey guys, I am sorry I'm late. I was not sure if we were still having it. I know Dezo, you said that we were, and then we weren't, and I'm not sure. I guess we decided on having it. So my apologies, everyone. Um, I believe we were going to be recording this one. Did we decide on that just yet or no?
It
Yep,
is currently being recorded.
it's still recording.
Awesome, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing.
Yeah, it seemed like we were just wrapping up actually. Before we got in.
Okay, well, great. I did have a question, and hopefully it's on topic. One of the things that I'm finding is that I will fine tune the hell out of a strategy, and I would find some very good sets of variables that seem to work. But we also know that it's really the combination of variables, not the variable itself. So it's not just volatility. It's not just the multiplier. It's not just the trend line confirmation type, but it's trend line combination type with the right ATR variable and so forth. And so, um, in using the optimizer, I'm wondering if we could figure out a way to narrow down what we really wanted to crunch, because half the stuff it crunches we is not very relevant, but then there's the stuff that we know that somewhere in there's gold, somewhere in there's something more amazing than we could have ever discovered. And I don't know what to do because there are some strategies that I've received and I've improved, I've made better. Just about every one I've made better by 20, 30% at least. But then there are some where I'm just banging my head against the wall because I can't figure out how to take it to the next level. And I know that the optimizer could do that. I have done a lot of my optimizing, unfortunately, through manually. But I know that there's a way to structure the variables where you can set it for this, set it for this, set it for this. Make sure this is no at above this. Make sure this is below this, and then have it run. Now, maybe you showed that in the video. Maybe I'm just sort of asking a question that's already been asked before. But that's really my challenge because um, I know there's so many other great coins and so many other great setups that if we could squeeze out. And to be honest, I think I'm maxing them all out. I have 22 setups right now. And they all look, at least they look amazing on paper. And they really kind of started today after the Fed meeting. So after I turned everything back on. So I'm curious to see how this month performs. I'm taking detailed test of everything, every data point you can imagine. But I didn't want to stop there because I figured, well, there's 22 pairs I'm working with now. I could use another 22 more. And so I wanted to know what you guys or how you guys are doing things when you get a when you when you know sort of have a foundation in a sense, but it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of and for me that requires a lot of manual testing. And there are some manual testing I could do. I could go through 20 or so numbers on each variable for a little bit, but I can't do it at computer like speed. And so I just kind of wanted to know uh, what your method is, Deso, or anybody else here, about how you guys work through those tough coins. Those tough coins that we know that have some value, but we just can't figure out how to make them click.
I mean, I did kind of touch on it earlier. Not all coins like one strategy. Like for example, Luna 2 here, like it might not like DSC, it might not like VTA, it'll love AAA. And you have no way of doing it or knowing it until you're actually going to go in here and actually try to optimize it. AVAX, for
Mm-hmm.
example, might not like AAA, might not like DSC, it loves VTA. There's no way to know until you actually go in there and start optimizing it. There's just really no way of knowing it. It's I wish there was a way to be like, cool, well, I'm going to do AAA for everything or VTA or DSE for everything. It doesn't, not all coins, that they don't do that. Like Stern's 1400 ETH was for AAA, and then the one that we got yesterday was what for DSE, or no, VTA, the 5000 fill. Like, it's just every coin has their own, I guess, setting that they like better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 All right. Well, so that being the case, so obviously every coin has its own personality. Um, Maybe, and we can take a poll if and maybe people could start requesting coins to be optimized. Um, and that could be a job of one of the members or groups of members, and they're and so and their task may be to optimize, but maybe they pull from the list of requested coins pairs to be optimized. Um, because my first thought is, okay, well, let's look at the high volume and let's sort of work our way down. But there's probably a lot of diamonds in the rough that I wouldn't have considered. I wouldn't consider People's, and People's is right now looking absolutely fantastic. And I took Talon's work with that and really turned that into a superstar. Um, and so, like coins, I'm wondering maybe we should have a list of something that people could sign up or sort of just make a request, and I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
Something to happen.
I kind of touched on it, like the 15 or so coins I already uploaded for Trade Labs. Like, I kind of just briefly looked at what we have uploaded in Google Docs and what we have uploaded in, like, the winning settings. And I kind of be like, I just eyeballed it. I'm like, okay, this is the best BTC setting, and it was for VTA. This was the best ETH setting, and it was for, DSC. This is the best ADA setting, and it was for AAA. Like, I guess if kind of going back to your point, if we can kind of get like a tier list, even then said that, like, if we can get like an S list, a S tier list, an A list, and kind of say, hey, this is the best of the best of the best setting for these coins using these strategies. Let's use this going forward, and then I'll add that to TradeLab, and that way everybody in crypto family trading will be like, cool. So this is the best of the best of the best setting. This is the best strategy for it. This is the best time frame. Blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. Just so everybody gets a use of it. So me and Dents and Trez and if everybody as mod group wants to talk about it, just kind of get that started as well too, because we have quite a few already. It's just I don't think we have them like kind of tiered, because I think like I said, Dents even wanted to kind of like tier it up, so that way when we have like the library completed for CFT and Trade Labs, we know it is the best of the best to use.
Yeah, definitely need to come up with some kind of formula that, for example, weighs a little bit more on one aspect, like profit factor or overall net return or something like that.
Right.
And then that would give us an overall value at the end that we control, and then we assign it a letter or something like S, A, B, C, all the way down. That way it'll be easier to start organizing this stuff once we start getting, 20, 30 submissions a day or a week or whatever. And it'll just be easier. And then on top of that, we could grab that top one. And since we have that crypto family group strategy thing, we could just follow that strategy. And that strategy gets updated either every 2 weeks or something. So, for example, the top tier right now might be a DSE strategy on Peoples, but next week it might be on Solana, on AAA or something. And it just keeps morphing, it keeps changing.
Well, I was
Yeah, I
thinking.
think at some
Well,
yeah, I think at some level there needs to be some kind of standardization of the results. And when we're going to be doing this tiered system, kind of like that, like you were saying, like I was mentioning earlier, I think at some point it might be better to create an arsenal of bots that have a more tighter risk to reward ratio. I mean, these crazy return numbers are awesome to see,
Oh, don't
but
worry about those crazy returns. If once I go through that system, I'm gonna start slapping on rules. I'm not allowing, 25% risk. Like, get out of here with that.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
we're
So
we're
yeah, so yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
we're gonna have a filter system, like minimum trades
Okay,
100, minimum net profit, whatever, minimum APT, blah blah blah. Please use 25x leverage. Please use five. We're gonna it's in the works. Like we have to I guess have like a everything standardized, so we can all like see
awesome,
apples to apples.
perfect,
well,
exactly.
that's what I was thinking about, and that's one of my challenges with profit factor, for example. It's big and green, and it's up top, and everyone looks at it, and if you get 100%, goes to a billion. But the profit factor can be manipulated by the leverage, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not making it a better strategy. If I change the leverage, that doesn't tell me if I'm a win or not. That actually just makes the number look more appealing. And I was thinking, okay, well, what are the core things that actually make this a good strategy or not? Not how much I'm betting or how much I'm investing, but there's other variables. And so this is where I started looking at, is it the Sortino ratio, the Sharpe ratio, or like what is the stuff other than how much money I'm putting on the line? What is the stuff that actually tells me whether this is a good strategy? Because if I get a good strategy, then I could throw money at it. I could put it at 30x and it's going to kick ass and give me a billion profit factor. But like I would want something that's successful without that, and that's kind of, well, that has to do with the way I fine tune my coins. Is that I try to avoid manipulating the things that actually in the end don't matter as much, and try really to make sure that the strategy itself is solid, but before messing around with all the fun stuff.
That's the secret sauce. Once we have that formula, that's would be the thing that filters out everything and starts ranking everything. I wonder if we have any mathematicians in this group. You know.
We had one of the guy I talked to today. He said is a statistician. He's been doing it for 20
Oh,
years. Maybe we can kind of bug him, like his thoughts, like
yeah.
what kind
Perfect.
of, what's your experience? And we have the guy that's been doing it for I don't know how long ago with Bitcoin was 1,000, but maybe we can kind of pick his brain too. Like, hey, what do you guys
Wow,
think? Like, what's your
that was a
experience
long
over
time
doing it
ago.
for so many years? So
Yeah.
Is Scott a member of the group? I know he joined for a moment and then he hasn't come back for a while.
He
He's
hasn't really
here.
been around. Even in CFB, he hasn't really even been around.
Okay, because he's a medical statistician, and
Oh, he's great with numbers.
yeah, the medical journal statistician.
We should probably stop recording.
No, it's true. If he hears it, more power to him. Hopefully, he comes on board. Yeah, because we have some bright minds in here. And I was wondering maybe when part of the interview process is to ask people. Some people aren't going to be great at everything, and but some people may say they're good at computers, and then my follow up question is, can you code? What type of code? Would you be interested in coding? And and
Yeah,
and because I don't know if you guys remember when I was talking about the Apollo moon mission at CFB, my whole thing was let's get the smartest people in one room, put them together in there, and just tell them to figure out a problem, figure out how we get to the moon, and wanted to do that so badly, but I didn't know. I had to sort of you had to walk with people because I know by far I'm not nowhere near as smart as so many members in here, even though my name says Smart John. I realize that the strength is in the team, and and I don't know if many people remember that conversation that
I
everyone.
do. I
But
completely forgot about that, but I remember now. You did it more
yeah,
than once. It was like 2, 3 times.
well, the whole thing was about that the smartest people in the world came together to figure out how to get to the moon.
Hmm.
And that worked when they were talking to each other. But then you have the same situation, which was the Mars lander. The smartest people in the world were talking to each other to figure out how to actually get this thing to Mars. And it crashed. And it's really a simple mix up of what actually happened why it crashed. And the reason why is Lockheed Martin was using miles and NASA was using kilometers. That's the only reason.
That was the
But
reason?
that was the reason, yes. But the
Wow.
fact is, you had the smartest people in the world talking to each other, and they weren't working together to really see how to solve this problem, and they crashed. And so, and I feel that we have some extraordinary minds in here. That the 3, 4 strategies we have now are just the beginning. We're going to continue to evolve. There's going to continue to be suggestions that are made. I mean, half of this stuff was just Dezo throwing stuff together to see if it works. I was like, oh, that works. Let's try this. Oh, maybe that'll help. And I think that's that evolution of things are going to continue. So, I'm looking forward to that. But at the same time, we also need to be bringing in minds or utilizing some of the minds here and stuff, which is, one of the things we talked about with Flashbang. A lot of people, have opinions about him because he was a moderator and he didn't seem to support us, and he was even, antagonistic against us in a lot of other different ways and all that. But if he came over here and he started helping the code and started to help put together programs, well, then shit. It's like, well, we didn't like you over there, but we appreciate the work that you could do here if you're sincere. And that's kind of where we're at right now because we are asset allocation is the name of the game, and assets are our brains and our energy and our commitment. And so we allocate these things in the right places. We can not just kick ass with the 3 strategies we have, but continue to improve on those and make many more. So that's what I'm thinking. I kind of went off on a tangent, but that's just it's been on my mind because there's more to come. There's far, far more to come, and this is only the beginning, for sure.
Agreed.
No, I agree with you. Yep, we're not NASA. We're SpaceX. We built the
Yes,
reusable rocket. Screw NASA's
yeah,
one-time only
yeah,
use.
that's
We
right.
can bring this down by remote and use it again and again and again.
That's right. I love that. That's exactly what we did. Exactly what we did.
Oh, I can't wait when we start playing around with AI.
Oh man, hey, gosh.
Oh, Dezo. Um, quick question: Is that I can't remember if there's a way in the strategies or not to only take longs or shorts. Is that I can't remember that's not available, right?
No, it's on my to-do list.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I got okay. I was gonna say it'd probably be you'd be able to fine tune it even more if we had one side only.
Yep.
And we're
Yeah, I was gonna do a checkbox where it's like take long and shorts, take long only, take short only. Like it's on my to-do
okay.
list. The code is in there. I commented
Oh.
out like I was playing with it. It's
Yeah.
more or less I have to like bring it back to life and just make sure it's actually working. So it's
And then
there. I gotta
we'd have to
confirm it.
update the trade lab strategies then too.
Yeah, yeah.
Trade Lab Strategies has long and shorts and
Oh, that's
all for
true.
almost
That is
everything.
true. So you can just copy it and then just erase. You know, if it's a strat for, you just create your alert and then
I I would have to probably do the back test. Like I guess step one is put it in there, make sure it's working. Step two, have you guys go at it and see what you can do for, really good longs only or shorts only. And then after that, yeah, we'll pop them in Trade Labs.
Would that affect the code on Trade Lab side since it's only order fills at the moment?
I can't see why not.
Yeah, and it shouldn't with the ones that are already in place. Because I know that when Talon had all his stuff already in place, even though Jake and Dezo had made 20 changes, Talon had stayed with his old stuff and it kept working.
Yeah. His champ is the first BTC USD one that he posted.
it's taken a couple losses, but it's still been good.
Oh, are you on time? I didn't even see it, Don.
I don't even have Discord up at the moment. I have it minimized. I'm staring at the screen, so I can't tell who's in here right now.
I've got 4 windows going on my second screen, running through the optimizer.
Crazy.
I'm just running. I'm trying to do a. Oh shit! Damn it! I meant to put. I'm trying to do XRP on a lower term time frame. I just set it at 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I
forced
know.
to have it. Now, Dink, I wanted to ask you. You had discussed using something that we had talked about in the old CFB group, which was uh, essentially using triggers, red dots and green dots above or below certain levels to actually trigger X, Y, and Z. And you believe that that might work best on the BTA, which I think is one of your favorite indicators. Did
Yeah.
you want to? Have you shared what you had in mind already? Did I miss that part?
No, I mean, I haven't really talked much about it. I was just kind of thinking about ways to get better entries and, just knowing from previously and just using it for manual trading, those waves,
I
whether it be
actually
under or
have that.
over 60. Hmm.
I actually have those. They're active, but they're on CFB at the moment. One of those custom indicators.
Yeah.
I believe I grabbed that from Flex on him. I can't remember if it was him or somebody else, but it's something like anchor wave is something anchor wave above or below. I believe that's what he named it, something like anchor wave. I'd have to find
Interesting.
the data.
Test it.
Oh, let's see if I can pull it up.
Well,
That
let
was
me
the
ask.
main reason I was asking. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, Dezo, because that's what we were talking about. Like, because if I think what you're saying is, see, we see blood, a big old red dot, that happens to be right before um, a sell signal on on the VTA. This would somehow. Well, actually, I'm not actually sure what you had in mind, but I believe it's possible when you described it, and that's why I actually
Well,
tagged you this. So, like, are
yeah,
you?
like
Screen is
what I
in.
was kind of referring to is having the trigger waves or anchor waves as a entry point, but using a lot of the indicators within VTA as confluence or confirmations. Because I mean, if I were to create a perfect indicator strategy, I would kind of like marry market cipher B with VTA, and maybe even throw divs in there as well. Um, but yeah, no, it was kind of all in my search for trying to get better entries or more calculated entries consistently.
I'm gonna post it in the text chat.
Okay, nice.
One second.
Appreciate
I
it.
think I don't want to lose
No
my train
problem.
of thought. Give me just 1 second. I think I know what you're asking for.
Okay,
Here it is, and I'll throw my code for this as well.
sweet.
There's it's JSON, so
Well, the reason why I think that this type of work is so valuable is because yes, we're going to be having back testing groups, and yes, we're going to be having forward testing, and yes, we're going to be having strategy testing and strategy variation. But the component that we must not forget, which is the component that brought us to this level, is the development innovation and development group department. That was something that Dev was just absolutely instrumental on in the other group, and they carried that thing to a whole nother level to the point where it was the members and not the owners that were actually doing um, creating something amazing. Well, that same culture uh, lives on here. And I know there's great minds out of the 100 that we have. There are some great minds that have some great ideas. I've talked to Sketchy Guy, him by himself. He has some great ideas, and I'm trying my best to draw it out of everyone to talk about it as a group. And I know that I don't have the idea. He may not, but you may, Jank, and you may, Dezo, and you may, Crypto Rap, and Wise Guy, and Oak, and Den, and everyone else. So, it's but as we continue to fine tune and polish the VTA, AAA, and DSE, which are kicking ass, there's going to be more, and we're going to continue to make what we have even better, and maybe even, as Dank is saying, maybe even add red dots to the VTA. Who knows?
Um,
Um,
just before we go on out, I'm actually going to stop recording because this was for
oh.
the optimizer, and then we'll go on. I pulled something up on a screen that I think it'll kind of help you guys and Dan kind of see what I made a while ago. I don't think anyone really realizes what I made, so I'll stop the recording here and I'll post it on YouTube.